Hello. So this presentation is also about user-friendly interfaces. Hopefully you're not getting too bored with the topic. Nevertheless, it's the last one. And it refers to CSS custom pseudo-classes and how you can use them to enhance this user experience. So CSS pseudo-class looks something like that. So you have the selector and then the pseudo-class. And basically the pseudo-class tags that element with some meta information that is not present in the document. So it's something that a characteristic of that element. And there are standard pseudo-classes like hover and focus that you've seen I've used in my previous presentation, and many more like not and nth child and first of type. And as a side note, Oxygen version 15.2 has added support for many of these pseudo-classes. So now you can use not and nth child and many more, like I said, in your CSSs, and that can be really helpful for the author mode. But you can also have custom pseudo-classes, and these are an example of these custom pseudo-classes are the vendor pseudo-classes, like Mozilla Firefox has a lot of pseudo-classes. They usually are prefixed with the Maz prefix particle. But you can also define your own. You can define and use your own custom pseudo-classes. For example, I define an Oxy my custom pseudo-class that I can use in my CSSs. And this presentation is going to focus on these custom pseudo-classes and how you can use them in the author mode. Okay, let's switch to Oxygen. So I have an XML document that contains the personnel information. And the text page looks something like this. In the author mode, I wanted very concise presentation on each person. So I don't want to see all the information. So for each person, I'm seeing its name. I'm seeing a photo, perhaps. Its city of birth, its country of birth. So at first glance, while I'm browsing the document, I just want to see this particular information to help me identify a person that I'm interested in. And once I've identified this person, let's say Harris Anderson, then if I want to see more information about it, then about him, then I can just click this little action here, and I'll see more information. And if I want to change the data about this person, then I would like a different kind of presentation, a more form-oriented approach. And to get that, well, you've probably seen while I'm hovering this person, I get this little action here, and if I click it, thank you. I'm getting a more editing-friendly interface, and I have a lot of form controls to help me edit the name, and I can browse for a different photo, perhaps. And I have a date picker to input the dates, some checkboxes, and so on. And afterwards, if I'm done with the person, I can just switch back to the original presentation. And how I did that? Well, I did it by using custom CSS pseudo-classes. And let's take a look in the CSS. so the first aspect is that I have a lot of CSS rules that have a condition on a certain pseudo class. So I'm saying, let's see. So if this pseudo class is set, let's take a. Okay, so if the oxyedit mode pseudo class is set on this element, then I will have an URL chooser to edit the photo element. The same with the date of birth. If the oxytext mode pseudo class is set on the personal information element, I will have a date picker, and so on and so on. So this is the first aspect. You go in the CSS and you write the default rules, and then you write the rules when a certain custom pseudo class is being set. And the second thing that you have to do, well, you've seen that I'm changing the pseudo class from an author action. So you have to go in the preferences, in the document type associated with that document, and you have to define an author action. So let's take a look at it. And what this action does, it uses this toggle pseudo class operation. So it will toggle a pseudo class on and off, and this is the pseudo class. You have to give the name of the pseudo class that you want to be toggled, and maybe an expat expression if this pseudo class must be set on a different element than the one with the form control. So see, this is the I've named this action toggle edit, and in the CSS I'm having an inline action form control with this action. So I'm clicking the action, it changes the pseudo class, and the rendering changes. Thank you.
Actually, we see this implemented first by one of our clients, users, that they use the custom attribute, some attribute that says edit equals yes. You know, and they match then on the element that contains edit equals yes. But then you need to modify the schema to kind of change the document. So these pseudo classes are kind of hidden attributes within that element, basically, that are not actually in the element itself. It's just for the view part.
So I hope I've kept it short. If you have any questions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.